And good morning, and welcome to Touch Base Daily. My name is Ron Foster, and I'm touching base with you as I do all the time. I am here with my buddy Chris Edwards. We are
Good morning.
here on this Focus Friday, where we focus on accounts that inspire us, encourage us, and bless us. That's IG accounts and
YouTube.
So how's everyone doing on this Friday? Can you believe it's Friday already?
It just
felt like
comes around.
it felt like it was just Friday. It is unreal how fast time is moving. We're
Very
already on
fast.
day three of May. And so who's in the building? Chris is in the building. What's going on? Chrissy's Corner is in the building. Anthony Rowland is in the building. Yes, good morning to everybody. It's so good to see you all on this beautiful Focus Friday. So yeah, lots in the news. Lots going on with that court here, the court case here in New York with the carrot head. Sorry, to say that. With the everybody knows him as the Orange Man, Agent Orange. So
Perfect.
Brian always says Agent Orange. What's going on, Jamel? Jamel Shabazz is in the building. What's going on, buddy? And yeah, it is. Well, where should we begin? Let's say with the college protests. They're
we
being
didn't touch that
quenched.
yesterday.
Yeah, they're being quenched around the country. And I've heard, man, if there's anything that has generated bipartisanship or in our society, is the college students protesting in America. For the first time, I mean, it doesn't matter. It could be Republicans, it could be Democrats, it could be independents, it could be young, it could be old, it could be black, it could be white, it could be. Everyone has an opinion about the student protests. And everyone has pulled out and dug out all of their historical facts and using them to, hold up their view about what's going on in America. Just so the headlines news is Colombia. The president of Colombia, I think it was Colombia this morning, they announced it on NPR, has broken relations with Israel. And
they have. I missed that one.
Yeah, and I did not know that they were one of the closest. They are one of the closest allies to Israel. They were. I did not know that. And yeah, so they broke relations with Israel this morning. I should say yesterday or last night, and saying of their genocide. They're calling it a genocide. It's up to 34,000 people have died on the Gaza Strip. That's a lot of people, folks.
It's a lot of people.
There's no getting around how inhumane, how horrible that is. And I say Netanyahu there's no other word to say. He is a fool, an idiot, because now Israel has more enemies than ever before. I mean, probably than ever before. And they're only going to gain more enemies the longer this. And I'm just going to call it what it is. It is a genocide. This genocide continues to take place on the Gaza Strip. And Hamas did what they did. Yes, that is horrible what they did, and it was horrific of what they did, and yes, it required retaliation. But when you look at the David and Goliath tactics, it's like it's like this. Like I was looking at this footage this week about a family in New Jersey, I think it was, where the mom is suing the high school because they did not take care of the bullying, and you got this big girl beating up this little girl, and then the parents of the big girl are inciting it. Where are the parents? The parents were inciting it. And that takes me back to the Gaza Strip, is that you have all these people all over, and they're instigating Israel, few people, I mean, like those that support Israel, on this matter. But the whole thing is that there's no justification for all the death. I mean, if you were really being a superpower in the region, which Israel is, you would strategically and using a scalpel versus a hammer. Yeah.
Yeah. I think part of the problem is that you have to look at the overall picture. Prior to this, Netanyahu was facing backlash from the people because they wanted to oust him and his government because he's being looked at for corruption. This is why him and Trump were such good friends. They want to be strong men.
Mm-hmm.
And this war gives him cover. And as long as he continues this war, he doesn't have to face what's going on, his other legal issues. So I don't see him stopping anytime soon, And then to bring it back home, Chrissy's Corner said this is huge for Columbia University. For them to take this stance is actually pretty huge because, to be honest with you, Columbia University is where all the student protesting started, which trickled all across the U.S. on college campuses. So for them to take this stance is huge, and I think that you'll probably see other universities now follow their lead.
Well, I mean, maybe this guy. What was their stance? That I know obviously they cleared up the campus. So that they can. The main reason they called the police in was to clear the areas so that they could have graduation. I mean, which I agree with, because you can't have other students. Again, a lot of the students that are graduating this year did not get a high school graduation.
Yeah,
and for them not to get their graduation at Columbia University because people were on, protesting, tents on the lawn, that would be an issue. But Columbia said after graduation, continue to protest.
Well, one of the things, reports that I've heard, and it makes total sense, is that this was timed specifically to interfere with graduation because they knew they could, garner even more attention because there would be a spotlight on the universities at that particular time of the year. And then on top of it, a lot of this didn't even really come from the students. You have outside agitators, professional people that are that just do protesting all the time to come in
50%
and
of them. 50%.
And to manipulate a lot of the students into going to the extreme levels that they had. This country, these institutions of higher learning are known for open criticism, open debate, challenging the system. That's what we know colleges to do, and it is within a student's right to protest.
Yes,
but it's not within their right to deface,
destroy,
to destroy, to take over buildings, and do the things that were going on. But like I said, a lot of it stemmed from outside agitators coming in. There was I was watching, I think it was like CNN or ABC, and a lot of major universities, University of Pennsylvania out here in Philadelphia, they were just going around asking people, "Are you a student here?" And most of them were saying either no or they were walking away from the cameras to not comment. Most of the people protesting were not students. If you're a
Yeah.
student, you have every right to protest on campus. That is your right. You know, you're a paying student. You can do that. What's not allowed is for people to come onto campus and to occupy space where they have no business.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, and again, they found that it was more than just college students protesting. It was organized. It was there, and then you have to ask the question, which a commentator said. I mean, like I said, there's been many views and points from so many angles, and someone was saying, who stands a chance of winning by all this footage across the country? Why would these agitators be out there inciting a lot of the high level defacing, using destructive means to protest? Who will benefit? You always got to go, when something like this happens and is very organized across the country, you have to say why. Who is benefiting? And someone took us back to the historian took us back to Nixon. That when he was going against, he was running against, I think it was Humphrey, and how Nixon won is because of all the footage and protests. And so there's a video of the big riot, the big protests that were going on for the Vietnam War in Chicago, and how I forgot which gentleman it was on the Nixon team. He takes the phone and lets Nixon hear the crowds and the fighting and all that other stuff that was going on. And then they were like, this is the sound of a Nixon win. And so my thing is, people have to dig deeper to why things are happening. There's some things that are happening on the surface. Yes, we need to analyze and figure out what's going on, but we need to also dive in and say, who stands to benefit? I would say the Republicans would have to be, they will get the benefit. And they can't find the connections yet. And they are now doing the investigations because they said 50% of all of the students in all of these areas that were destructive so far, as of yesterday, some were even 60%. They did not go to school on those campuses. They had no connection, and they were what's called professional agitators, making the protesters look bad. The same thing that happened with I keep bringing it back to Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter was peaceful marches across the country, but there were these, I'm just going to have to go there. Sorry, Trish. There were these white folks from the suburbs, rich kids. These were in New York City, lawyers. Both of them were lawyers, embedded and bombing the police cars in New York City, scorching them because they wanted the protests to look bad and make it look like it was a total uncontrollable situation, unrest, to bring voters over to the Trump voting bloc.
Yeah. Well, the other thing to take notice of is the reactions of the schools and how they handle these situations. Because let me tell you something, all of these schools where they are having protests and unrest, they're under a microscope. Now, you know, a lot of these institutions are private institutions. The police departments don't have quote unquote rights to be there unless they're called there, or unless there's some type of physical altercation happening, you know, a murder or a rape or whatever, where they have the right to come on campus. Columbia did its best to keep NYPD off the campus until it was completely necessary. When the protesters took over, I forget which hall it was, but when they took over the hall, that's when they decided that was a step too far, and they had the police come in.
Hamilton Hall.
Hamilton Hall. And Hamilton Hall has a history back in the
Yeah.
was it 68?
68, 72,
Protesters,
74. Yeah,
yeah,
they yeah, Colombia
protesters
is
took
known for
over Hamilton
protesting.
Hall.
Yeah.
So there's history there. But then also, so people looked at how Columbia University handled the protests and the students. They weren't happy with it, but it was peacefully resolved. Now,
Yeah.
when you look at UCLA, that's a completely different story. The police have been on campus. They've been manhandling people, throwing people to the ground. There are reports of people being bloodied. This does not hold well for the police departments and the institutions, because these students have a right to protest, but when it's
Yes.
how you handle it, how did the administration handle it? So now they've got this ding on their record where they've shown how police interacted with the students, and that's not going to bode well for them in the future.
And there were several colleges that met and sat down. I think it was Indiana. I think it was maybe, I'm not sure it was Indiana State, but there was Indiana. There was another college, 2 colleges that I'm aware of, that sat down with the protesters and came to a
Yeah,
conclusion, came to a
yeah,
resolve,
yeah.
came
So it
to a
can be
resolve.
done.
So protesting works. Protest,
Yes,
I mean, it's how you do it. But also, I mean, when you think about some of these colleges, some of the faculty were involved on this too. So you had
yeah,
teachers that were
yeah.
involved. And they're steering the students in a, hopefully not in a violent way. Hopefully they were, in there and saying, let's protest is a good thing. Is what's his name? He's a commentator for NBC sometime, MSNBC sometime. Charles. He's based on SNL.
Was it Charles Blow?
Yeah, Charles Blow. He was saying, well, he said, can I just bring attention to protests? And he had a very valid point. He said, America was founded on protests. Remember the Boston Tea Party? He says it was the equivalent, I think it was 1.8. If you took the tea that they destroyed and the things that got destroyed, it would be equivalent to $1.8 million today's currency. So America is founded on protesting.
Yes.
That's why it's a First Amendment right. It's the first. It's the number one, the right to speak, to assemble. So, folks, know the Constitution. But that was a really good point with Charles. And so, again, like I said, I've heard every kind of angle to this. And and believe it or not, several of these angles all make sense, even though they seem like they're in conflict of each other. So anyway, what says you out there? I saw Trish says we all should be protesting. I agree, but I also, when I think about this energy, I am hoping is, Chris Rock hit it on the nose when he had his show called Selective Outrage. I just wish that people would react to all the things that are going on in the world the same way. I mean, right now, there's trouble going on in Sudan. Conflict, civil war. There's hotspots all over the planet. Why aren't we so interested in all these other places in the world? This today in Chad, in Africa, there's an election going on today in Chad for their presidency. And it's been racked by civil war for years. But no one's thinking about Chad today. No one's thinking about, there's so many hotspots around the world. We are selective in our outrage.
Listen to me. Let's just be bold and upfront about it. When it comes to people of color, no, the world doesn't care. If it deals with white people, then it's a problem. Okay, that's point blank. That's what it is.
I mean, look at Haiti. Haiti.
Yeah.
There should be a spotlight right now How could we have a country in the Western Hemisphere going through so much turmoil, and no one in America or Canada or all of the established countries, even Mexico, are
You
looking,
want
these are established countries,
you want to know
looking at
why?
how we can support Haiti?
You want to know why? We had a president that called it a shithole country. Why should we care
Well,
about them?
well, he told the truth about how he felt about it, but it's truly is policy. American policy is lopsided. We only support those that has what's called the RO, right? Return on investment, ROI. Think about it. I didn't want to go down this road, but it's necessary to talk about. Think about, for those that don't really know what's going on, when we passed legislation, the bill was signed in, this $95 billion to go to Ukraine, to go to Israel, and I think Taiwan. $95 billion. And you're saying, wow, that's a lot of money to be sending overseas to all these countries. You don't most people are like, oh, they're spending money, sending money overseas. No, they're not. No, they're not. They are, by ledger, sending it overseas. But those dollars that we are sending overseas on the books, those dollars are spent in America. Let's go back. Let's look at the big picture. When you take the money and give the money to Israel or Ukraine to buy weapons, those weapons are purchased. They purchase those weapons from America. So it helps our economy. War has always been used to help economies in a lot, in the modern world. In the 19th, what do you want to call it, the 19th century, the 19th, 20th century, and now the 21st century. So so again, if we support, I don't want to say prop up, if we support Haiti, we support Chad, if we support Sudan, if we support these countries, their dollars don't come back to us, and therefore we don't care. I didn't mean to go down that road, but maybe someone needed to be educated today. Trish, why is the stock market so dwindling? Dwindling. Then the stock market is doing well. The stock market is just taking a breather. The stock, for those that are not into the trends of the economy, what time is this? Make sure I get our time right. Okay,
We're 11.
You got 5 minutes. 5 minutes to talk about this kind of stuff, and then we're gonna go right into our Focus Friday accounts. The stock market. America is doing very well. We have the best economy right now in the world. In the world. Today, the market is up because unemployment went up. And you may like, wow, why? Wait a minute. We didn't create more jobs this year. So, I mean, for April. So why is the stock market up? Because that is a indicator or a check off to say maybe the Federal Reserve they did take a pause in interest rates. But what the stock market is hoping for is that they begin to decrease the interest rates. So a little bit higher unemployment, a little bit more steady of inflation staying steady, or maybe a notch up, will give reason. I should say, sorry, inflation going down will give reason for the Fed to then say, let's ease on interest rates, because interest rates are killing folks. My credit score has taken a hit. I was like, I haven't even done. All I'm doing is paying my bills on time. Haven't done anything. My credit score is like, and I have no good, but it's affecting everyone. And the whole inflationary thing too. For those that are not in tune with why prices are high, some were because of product flow into the country, but a lot of corporations they have record profits right now. That means those prices are overpriced because of corporations, not because of the Biden administration, not because of some external thing. It is because companies have decided for higher profits. Okay, should I leave that alone now, Chris?
I think you handled that really well. Yeah, there's 2 minutes left before we have to switch over to Focus Friday. For those that are following the trial, Hope Hicks is on the stand right now, testifying in the Trump case. And then also the judge clarified this morning, because Trump yesterday came out in front of the crowd saying how he can't testify, which he spoke incorrectly. He was saying he can't talk, can't respond because of the gag order. So the judge clarifies that the gag order does not stop Trump from testifying. If he wants to testify in court when it's his turn, he can do so. But the gag order still remains in effect. When he's outside, he is not to talk about potential witnesses. He can talk about the judge and the prosecutors all he wants, but to keep everyone else out his mouth, basically. And that's it.
Man, I'm looking at all the Derek says America picks and choose who they support. Anthony's talking options. So y'all, if y'all don't know what a put is, it's an option trade. He said, I took a hit on a put this morning. That's option trading. So if you guys, I used to work at the stock exchange, the American Stock Exchange, and that's what they were known for, option trading. But the puts, I won't even go into the details. It's too complicated to explain it to you guys, to everyone in the room. But it is a trade. So when you see he says a put this morning, that's a trade. Trish says the housing market is off the charts. Price of homes is ridiculous. And not only are the prices ridiculous, but also the interest rates to purchase those homes is ridiculous. And so it's slowing the housing market down. And for the folks on the West Coast, I mean, guys, we need to really, I don't even know how we help the folks on the West Coast. The West Coast of America is really going through a housing crisis. The prices are so high. And a lot of it, in some areas, I should say not a lot of it, but in many places, because of where high tech is located, cyber, like, the technical Silicon Valley, and all the tech companies, they've driven the prices up because their salaries are so high, so they can afford the higher rents. And so all of the rents and all the housing has gone up with those salaries. However, most folks, the majority of the folks are not in tech. Their salaries have remained the same, or if not, have decreased. And there is a major, major housing crisis in California, Seattle, Oregon. I can't forget the images when I was in Seattle of the hundreds of tents under the highways of homeless people, working people. They were going to work from their tents. So these weren't people that were just like psychologically off. No, the housing problem in the West Coast is horrific. It will bring you to your tears if you've ever been to the West Coast and seen these tent cities. It is horrible. And America has got to figure out, this should not be happening in America. This should not be happening in America. How is it possible? You have tent cities, people that can't afford a decent place to live.
And this is not something that's recent. I remember a trip that I did to Oregon back in like 2017, 16, 17. And you saw tons of tent cities everywhere. Like Oregon had a problem. Washington State had a problem with homelessness. It's rampant It is
It's
rampant.
horrible. It is horrible. And again, I don't understand why. How is it that you could be a representative in the Congress and or an member of the Senate and not feel something for people? I mean, when I was in DC, just down the block from the Capitol, there's a park. As you're heading into the main, proper of DC where people live, but right there, right behind the Capitol is a tent city. Literally, there's a tent city.
Ron, I mean, when you get off the train at Union Station, you walk out and you see homeless people sleeping in front of the statues, in the front, right where the taxi pickup is, and it's prevalent everywhere.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't know. America has a problem. America has a problem.
But again, folks keep voting for the people that spit on them. There's another word I would use. There's more than spit on them that they do.
Yeah.
Since maybe there's some mamas in the building we want to be nice and respectful for. But yeah, it's sad that this country, and like I said, there's a lot of great things about America. I love that I was born and raised here. We could have been born and raised in so many other places in the world that don't have the benefits of what we have here in this country. But with this, there's a little bit of insanity.
Well, listen, you were born here. I can say how I appreciate this country, but I can also see how flawed it is. I was not born here. I came here when I was young. But my mother thought it was important for us to have an opportunity to live in a country where we could make something of ourselves.
Yeah.
I don't know, but America can do better.
That was a focus. That was a part of our little focus. We do the news focus in the morning, and I mean in the first half, and then now it's time to do some of the Instagram. We could literally stay on the subject all day, probably every day for the rest of the year. But it's something to just keep on your radar. And there's there's one more thing, but I'm gonna let it go. Let it go, Ron. Let it go. So okay, so we have Focus Friday. So for those who are new in our community, Focus Fridays when we focus on accounts that bless, inspire, and encourage. So we want to do that as well. So we want to get some of these accounts up so that way others, the other folks can start following these people to be encouraged and blessed too. So if you have a Instagram account or an Instagram account or a YouTube.
Come on.
YouTube account. Please use FF, which is Focus Friday, and then your at whatever it is. Now, please let us know if it's a YouTube channel or Instagram. That's going to help us. And please do not use the Instagram person's name, but use their Addy. The Addy
their username.
At Ron Lewis Photos, at GR Houston, at Black Power Bunny, at Anthony Rowland. So make sure you use those ads so that way we can post those and give some highlight to it. So anyway, who's first up? And then I'm going to end with one of our guests that's coming on Wednesday, which I'm so excited, and I need to reach out to him because he is incredible. Anyway, let's go. Chris, do you have any?
No, I'm trying to pull up mine right now. So in the meantime, if anyone's got any, make sure you put it in the comments. Don't forget to put the FF.
If they don't have one, I have one. So I
know you're always ready. You're always ready.
Always ready with a bunch. So
let's get it.
I'm always in people's IG's accounts. So I love looking at new accounts and seeing what's out there. Let's go with let me go my Focus Friday accounts. Click on that. And this was really, I met this gentleman at the photography, the photo show 2024 last weekend, just passed, Sunday just passed. And he is a historian. And let me just see if I get my screen up here. Here we go. We're going to share the screen. And let me go to his account real quick. And let me see here. And okay, here we go. I think we're good. There we go. Here we go. Let me bring it up. This is the account of Sola Olosunde, and has 13.5 followers, 13.5K followers. He does public services. He maintains a photo archives of his life, people, the city, and he sites I've seen since 2017. Yes, my name is Sola. And he has all of the, he talks about the city, he talks about history, he brings, gives highlights to different things that are happening in society. He is speaking, as a matter of fact. I do believe he's speaking this week or next week. And really nice guy. I met him through Malik, who was with me on Sunday at the photo show. And you can check out his page, Photos That Prove New York Still Got It. He's been featured in the New York Times. He's sharing the history of Black New York, one tweet at a time. History of Black New York. It was yesterday. Was his community hour. He's a guest speaker. If you're in New York, or if you want to come to New York and you want to follow someone, you want to be educated about Black culture and Black people in New York and the Black history in New York, this is a gentleman worth following. And he takes you through a lot of issues that are happening currently, and again, also in the past, present. So check it out. Okay, that's my first one. Anyone else? Okay, no one is
I don't see any today.
What is it? Is our comment box down? Is it
No,
frozen? Is no one? Is there anybody out there? Okay, so if you don't have another one, I have another one. So, and let me go to my other one here. Hold on a second. Let me go back. Let me see if I can get back there. And okay, why is it? Okay, there we go. There we go. Pop that in here. So I have my little Focus Fridays. This was really fascinating to me. Again, is the all women pilots and people that are in the airlines. This particular lady, Stephanie Grant, and so this is all the women that are pilots in the airlines. And I thought this was really cool. Their story, their posts. Oops, let me go back. Their stories and their posts. Stephanie Grant, check that out. A wonderful page. She takes you on to some of her voyage places that she's visiting, her husband, really cool stuff. And so anyway, I find these things fascinating. I like discovering new places, but it's always nice to see a couple. And it's always nice to see, when I first started in aviation, when I went to aviation high school, and then I went to the College of Aeronautics. It was a big dream for folks when it came to women in the airlines. And now you see women pilots everywhere. It's like everywhere. I'll never forget when I was flying in Nigeria on one of their airlines, Nigeria's airline, and they had this young woman. She was a little tiny little woman, and she was the captain of the flight. And I was like, yo, this is it. The world has changed so much, and it's just so beautiful to see women doing the things that men were men were just doing. But her page is really nice, and she shows off in her gear, but then she is beautiful. She's a beautiful woman, and you just can go through her page and how she helps people and connects with people, and good. It's a good page. It makes me smile. It's one of those pages that just makes me smile. I see Jamel Shabazz says, "Oh, Chris, are you doing are you taking if someone?"
Well, no. So the two that are in our private chat, that's from me. But I'm gonna pull.
Okay.
I see. I'm gonna pull.
Jamel has one, so put Jamel's in the private chat, and then I can just click on it.
Give me 1 second.
Got it. Okay, so we got now the teamwork thing going on here.
Yep. So Jamel's is in there. His is queued up.
Okay, I got you in there. I see that. Okay, here's yours. Pop that in here. I just love this. Now I can. We finally got a system here.
Yeah.
Here we go. Let's see.
Yep, first one.
Okay, there we go. This is Diego Silva Digital.
Yeah.
Oh, is this
listen, as an adult, I still am drawn to these type of characters, like hand-drawn stuff. I love it. And I find myself when I just need something to look at, these reinterpretations, especially of like our superheroes. And a lot of times, a lot of these artists, especially Black artists, will represent the artists that we grew up with as people of color. And that's why I love this one. And then the next one I sent you was kind of like that as well.
And also it says learn AI. Check out my ebooks. All my content is prepared with great care to help you create art with artificial intelligence. See the link in bio. Oh, so he not only shares, but he's also teaching. Wow. I am always amazed by AI. I know Omar does a little bit of he's dove into some of this AI stuff.
Listen, BJ was the one that got me into loving this AI art that's out there.
Yes, it was BJ. BJ, definitely, we miss our BJ. She was awesome. And look at this. I wonder how many of these folks actually are taking some of these characters and really creating like a series, like movies, or trying to dive in with these characters in cinema, taking it to that level. I mean, what they come up with is so beautiful. Look at that. How many of you guys are into AI? I'm curious.
Oh, I'm fully into it now. I'm fully engulfed.
Who plays around with AI in this community? I've only played a little bit, but nothing.
Listen, you know what I found fascinating. So, for instance, a little behind the scenes, the background that I have for Take Two, that is AI generated.
Really?
I did that in Photoshop. So I did a blank background. I said I want to be in a studio type of space with lights and camera gear, and that's what I between going back and forth a couple of times, that's how I generated that that background.
Wow. Guys, hats, round of applause for this page. Look at this. Oh, this is gonna give me like a mental rest. This is what I
look at Shazam. Like, it looks so modern.
I mean, Shazam, Batman, Superman, Flash,
Spider-Man.
You got all of these folks. Spider-Man, yes. I mean, reimagined.
Yeah.
The Punisher. I mean, look at that.
Superboy.
And
Incredible Hulk.
You're seeing a side of me that you don't get to see. Because you're like, how does Ron know all these? There are some characters.
Black Wolverine.
Yeah, look at that. And Green Hornet. Oh, I mean, isn't it amazing that we know these
Green Lantern
characters by their logos?
Or just even like their outfits.
Yeah. Okay. Jamal has one. Let's Let's
Yeah,
go for
it's
Jamel.
the third. It's the third one. It's his.
Jamel has one. Let's go with that one. I see in here.
I believe his.
He mentioned this one last week, but we didn't get a chance to share it last week, I think. But we're going to get it in this week. We're going to get this in. Okay, here we go. Yes. As a Michael Young. Michael Young. I don't know if I reached out to Michael Young to come on this show. I think I might have, or anyway, I know if I haven't, there's an invitation. He is on the list to come on this show. I hope he takes the. I think I mentioned it to him. He is such a beautiful spirit. When I tell you, we've been corresponding for a while, like back and forth. I would see his photos and I would like them, but kind of like just online on Instagram. And I finally met him in person at Jamel and Howard Cash event at the gallery, and I got to spend a little time with him. He is such a beautiful spirit person. I mean, just humble, caring, just a great energy. Jamel says Michael Young is a master of light and composition. I think Jamel has he ever had his own show, like a solo show? Because he really should have a solo show.
I'm loving his black and whites.
Yeah, his black and white is just, it sends me over the roof.
And he is a master of light and shadow. I love his play on space. Like there's one I'm really fascinated with. It's architectural. It has shadows. It has depth.
Yes.
And it's very, very simple.
Look at that.
I love a great silhouette.
I love a silhouette. I'm addicted to silhouettes. And look how he takes this line. Look at that line. And this basketball player. And then you got this beautiful mural. Look at that light. And you guys know I love light and shadows. Look at that. How the light.
It's the next one for me.
Woo! Nice.
This one. There's something very stunning. Look at. I mean, there's architecture there. There's columns. There's arches. There's foreground, background. There's depth.
And look at the play on those leading lines.
Yeah, negative and positive space. So this has everything in it.
Look, this leading line going down, leading line going in, leading line coming down, leading lines.
And the person gives the image scale.
Yes. Yes. Jamel, thank you so much for this one. Yeah. There's an invitation, Mike. If I haven't sent it out, there's an invitation coming. Because again, like I said, he has such a beautiful spirit. I really enjoy speaking with him at the event. That's why it's so good to support the arts and go to galleries, and you never know who you're going to meet at these galleries, on gallery exhibitions, especially when it comes to photographers. I know there's a lot of art venues in New York City and around the world, around the states. But when you have the photographers have their work on exhibition, it really is important. I see. Jamel says, I am helping him. Ooh, he got great help here. I am helping him get his first book. Jamel, I'm in line next. After you finish with him, I'm next. I'm next. I'm next. Hands up.
I'm pre-ordering it. I want a signed copy.
I will support Mike.
That's beautiful.
He just, look at that. I just love it. I love the play on light. Look, I mean, look, it's just he knows what he's
I
doing.
love it. Go back.
Yeah, I that's the umbrella.
No, not
Coney
even
Island.
umbrella. It's the chain link fence in the background makes a pattern. It almost looks like newsprint.
Yes. And then you see this white in the back, but then she's an African American. She's wearing her black legs. She's wearing her black legs. She has black legs, and she's wearing a black outfit, and she has a dark umbrella. And I love also, you can't see it, but there's a rim light on her face. Can y'all see that? You can see her glasses.
It's very faint, but it's
and
there.
her chin. You can see the very faint outline of her face. I love it. Okay. I can linger here. What time check? Time check.
We've got about 6 minutes.
Okay, 6 minutes. Okay, great. Thank you, buddy. Okay. Okay, so you guys got that. Okay, anyone else? Anyone else out there?
Well, do the second one that I gave you.
Not you. What's that?
The second one that I gave you.
Okay, there we go. I'll pop this in here. Copy. Is this a okay, let's see where this takes me. Oh, I just did a Gwendolyn. Gwendolyn in between things, she starts singing. It's a habit of mine also.
This is another AI generated.
Another AI.
I'm very fascinated with it, and like on my downtime, I just like to look at these.
Wow. I'm surprised the community hasn't have more. Last week, y'all were on fire. Couldn't keep up with y'all. This week is crickets. That's okay. I got a lot to share. This is a beautiful picture. It's
just stunning to me, though, that these look so realistic.
They look so real. AI is, and it's just getting started, y'all. Yeah. AI is just getting started. 5 years from now, I can't imagine what this technology is going to be doing. Look at this. You understand why actors in Hollywood were making sure that they had certain rights, because you could really get rid of humans. Look at this.
I'm actually interested to see the first short film that is completely AI generated. I know it's coming, and I want to be there to see it.
Well, it's already. Think about the Planet of the Apes that's coming out next week.
Yeah, but it's
got a lot of AI.
Yeah, but I'm talking about.
You mean a whole movie generated?
I'm talking about a whole movie from start to finish, built in the computer, just by prompts.
Look at this. I mean, it's so real. Wow. Wow. I mean,
even just the storytelling in those images alone, like, I mean, that is crazy.
What I do love about this, it is what I call the flattening of the playing field. AI is truly the equalizer. You could be from anywhere in the world, poor, rich, black, white, Asian, Indian, indigenous. You could be whoever you are and be able to do this and be an expert. The playing field is getting more flat with technology. I mean, these people look so, I mean, obviously they're based on, it can only do what is based, you can only feed the information, but look at this. Remember the movie 300? Was it 300? Was that almost, it was humans in it, but it was like the beginning of that. AI. Look at
So here's something to note. Go back one. And this is something that's actually very hard to master. So a lot of times when people do images or photography, you don't realize there's depth of field, but then there's also atmospheric things that go on in the background. So like if you look at that photo, how it is very hazy in the background, that is actually true to life. A lot of times you can't see but so far unless it's like a clear, bright day that there's no humidity. But when you have humidity involved, you start to get like haze and atmosphere, and you see that in all of this. And I'm sure that there's dust particles being thrown up through all the people walking, but there's a level of detail that's in something like this that you have. If you're not careful, if you're not paying close attention to it, you can completely miss it.
Trish says is going to happen based on we're talking about the movies. Is going to happen soon. Will make the internet look like kindergarten.
Yeah.
Let me tell you this. But look at this. I mean, let me check time check. Time check. Okay, look. Okay, I got 1 minute.
2 minutes.
Yeah, and then I gotta get off here. Again, the foreground, the background is so. This is complicated. I mean, these lions look a little off, a little bit, but look at the subject and look at the layering as it moves back. That is phenomenal. Who are these people? What planet are they on? Look at this. Man. Yeah, look at that. You saw that? Yeah, it's just incredible. Okay. You folks
Wrap it
stayed
up.
with us. This was amazing work. Good job, y'all. Good job. And next, look, we had enough just to do what we did today. Let me just give you a couple. I'm using my banners because hello, I got them now, so I'm using them. Just so you know, make sure. Oops, let me pop off that little guy here. Hold on a second. Let me get rid of. Clear that out. There we go. Now we're ready. Make sure you like, subscribe at Ron Lewis Photos. If you're in the Instagram feed or if you're in Facebook right now, make sure that you come over to YouTube, subscribe and like and subscribe, and take it one step further. Share it. Share what we're doing here with your friends and your family. Say, hey, you know what? There's this quirky guy on YouTube every day. Check him out. So share, okay? And also, let me go there and so let me use my banners again. You can follow me on Instagram at Ron Lewis Photos. Good. And TikTok, the same thing, Ron Lewis Photos. And I'm eventually going to have one of these that says, follow us on, join us on Indie Soup at 6 o'clock on today. And all the Indie Soup folks like Chris will be, his show is on tonight, Safe Space. So check that out this evening. And so those are all the things. And I do have I want to make sure I do these every day. Thank you to the sponsors. If you are a Patreon member and you are supporting with $25 or more in my Patreon, which is a month, some in my Patreon do more, I will put your company here so that way it will be viewed by other people. So let me know if you are interested in doing that, sponsoring this platform, and you will be on this little purple ending at every ending of our show. And so that's good for our Patreon folks and also our sponsors. Also, if you are interested in learning photography, make sure you reach out to me. Slide into my DMs. You can slide into my DMs on Instagram, or you can simply just go to the link and reach out to me. And I teach virtually. I love teaching virtually. It's one-on-one, and we go at your speed to teach you photography. Check me out. Check it out if you're interested. I think that's it. I think we got it all, Chris. We're good.
Yep.
We're good.
Time to go.
We're good.
We're a
Okay,
little
guys.
over this. Okay.
Yeah, we only 1 minute. Okay. And see you guys. I love you all, and I'll see you on Monday. Oh, wait. There we go. Here we go.